All right, it's time to talk about white Kanye.
You like that one? Huh?
All right, it's time to talk about white Kanye.
White Kanye, we in the building.
Yep, Elon Musk.
Oh.
The man has. Well, is there any new news aside? Like, the Twitter shit still has to go through since he bought it. But I feel like we already talked about when he first bought Twitter. But yeah, the man has officially done what he needs to do to buy Twitter. Sold Tesla shares to fund it. And now it's just a matter of it got to like officially be signed off by the board of directors and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Well, this man's wild. He has a lot of tweets we want to talk about, so that's cool. And he's in a little bit of some Twitter beef too.
Yep.
Yeah. After he bought it, he said, "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means."
Yup.
Boss. What else he got?
Boss.
He wrote, "By free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I'm against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, they will ask the government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people." This gotta be spitting bars, man. Oh God! And then, so he
a better rapper than Kanye right now.
He tweeted a picture, and it said, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters. Well, no, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital. Where matters vital? What the fuck?" Where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk.
So that's what he was saying. Matters vital to the future of our,
Yeah, I don't know why they wrote it. Is that correct?
Yeah, so he said matters that are vital to XYZ.
Where matters, oh, I see. Look at me. I'm good at reading, man. Okay.
Don't worry, we'll cut around it. Don't worry.
I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of its users to unlock it.
He making me want to get back on. I'm on Twitter, but I'm gonna start tweeting.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to see me when I get my Twitter fingers cracking. Yeah, so, I'll be thinking of tweets throughout the day now.
Yo, so after he posted that last one, so there was this guy. His name is Mike Forsty.
What kind of name is that?
I don't know what the fuck he is. I think he's a journalist or some shit. A pose of something.
Apropos.
What?
Apropos
of something. Tesla's second biggest market in 2021 was China after the U.S. Chinese battery makers are major suppliers for Tesla's EVs. After 2009, when China banned Twitter, the government there had almost no leverage over the platform. They may have just changed. And let me tell you something about a hating-ass billionaire. Because he tweeted on this, Mr. Jeff Bezzos.
He's still hating?
Nah, Jeff hating,
after
bro.
Leo stole his wife?
Exactly. Yeah. Bro, it's crazy. And he's like, interesting question. Did Chinese government just gain a bit of leverage over town square?
Oh.
And he's doing that. So a lot of people started talking about this. And I just think it's crazy to think that you can be a billionaire in America without kind of partnering with the Chinese. Because think about it. If you're selling products, if you're selling some type of tech, it's got to be made somewhere. Yeah, some things could be made in America. But for the most part, the cheapest labors is all around the world, and China, they got their fucking Uyghurs.
You look at all the major brands. Everyone is pretty much with them.
Exactly. Look at the back
except
of your
for American
shirt.
Apparel with tourist shops every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like, what was it called? So they kind of called Jeff Bezos out, and Amazon is partnered with Chinese propaganda. Like, Chinese companies go on Amazon and pretend, so this is what they were talking about. So there was like a bunch of Chinese companies, they'll go on Amazon and they'll see American brands and counterfeit it. And then they'll go sell that shit on Amazon. And then people, and they counterfeit it with shitty ass products. And they go on to Amazon, they sell it, people buy it, and they leave like a 1-star review. So all these reviews are going to the brands that the Americans made, which isn't the product that they were selling in the first place. So a lot of people who use Amazon for that, they've complained to Amazon and everybody, and they talk shit about Jeff Bezos. They don't do anything about it Because the Chinese got their tentacles in everybody who's rich.
Yeah, so it's the hypocrisy that people are mad at.
Yeah,
fucking Jeff
bro.
Bezos talking
So
about
you're saying
Elon,
like Jeff don't got no place to be speaking on Elon's Chinese ties when he has similar ties?
Exactly. So it's like, okay, cool. If somebody else said that, another journalist talks about Elon Musk and all that, his ties with the Chinese and the propaganda model. Jeff Bezos is not the person to be talking about that type of shit.
See, but okay, that's a good point though, because so if they take the company private, right, and let's say China has a meeting with Elon, like a private meeting, nobody knows about it, and they're like, hey, implement this, and that. Like, we would never know about it, right? So, like, that is a possibility. But then again, like, why would they do that?
Yeah,
like,
especially if his whole thing is, like, he's going to make it super freed up. I forgot. I was going to read off a different article as well. But they talk about he might be able to, like, monetize tweets and stuff like that. Like, I just don't know what factor China could play when his whole thing is, like, I'm going to let everything go. Everyone wants to say whatever they want. Y'all can say whatever you want. And what are they going to do? Like, nah. Let them really say whatever they want. Like, he's already doing it.
It's kind of the same thing with, like, the NBA and, like, movies. You remember when John Cena said some shit about Shanghai? And then he had to go apologize and say it in Chinese as well. Yeah. So I feel like that's the thing that people are afraid of, especially when it comes to Elon Musk.
That's different, though.
But because
in Hollywood, a lot of the funding comes from China. Comes from China. So China can cut out like an entire movie, and they have before, or they're like the most recent Doctor Strange, I think, that came out. The Tibetan lady had like another hairstyle, or she had like another name or something like that was more reference to Chinese, and they was like, hey, if you don't cut that character out or change that character, we're gonna cut the movie. Okay. And that's Doctor Strange. That's a AAA title that comes out from Marvel. You know?
Yeah.
See, so how could something like that happen with Twitter though?
Exactly. The parallel is not really there with Twitter.
Well, they did say about like. What's that shit called? That the main fund or where they get the batteries is from China, right? Okay. So imagine
for Teslas.
For Teslas, exactly. So lithium batteries or the EVs or whatever they're called, if they're coming from China and you believe in free speech, so if people are shitting on Chinese government and all of that
on Twitter,
how is the Chinese government not gonna say something to Elon?
That makes sense, because they're like, it won't cut your batteries for Tesla, and you for sure don't.
People are tweeting mean things about or bad things about us.
They're really good at fucking. They're really good at like cutting all that shit off. Their censorship. You'll lose ad money. There's this guy named Jake Tran. He makes a lot of videos. When he makes certain types of videos, you're not getting no ad revenue off of that. Nobody wants to touch anything about China because they know that's where the money's coming from.
So basically, our topic of discussion is. We're concerned that since Elon is buying Twitter, China may be able to play a factor. Yeah. Because they sell the batteries to Elon. And then what? Twitter's already censored as fuck the way it is. What is... I just don't see why it's like important at all. I don't get it. I feel like everyone hears China and it's like a buzzword. China. First of all, they own TikTok. China still owns TikTok.
I don't know.
No, they still own TikTok, bro. Yeah, for the longest time, they own TikTok, bro. And so them having a tie to the guy that's buying... They have ties to the fucking to Trump. They had ties, bro. Yeah. So I just don't see. It's just topic of. It's like a random discussion. Like, oh well, they might be able to do that. And what if they don't like people are tweeting about them? What are they gonna do anyways? Be like, now you have to start censoring people. If Elon's whole mission is we're gonna make Twitter no censor, you can't filter people. So he's just gonna go back on that. If he wants to go back on that, cool. But it's already like that now. Yeah. And who cares about China anyways? Who's really tweeting about China? Like as far as it pertains to the average person.
Well, the reason we wouldn't know. It's because they be fucking censoring that shit.
I wasn't looking for no China tweets. Like, I don't give a fuck what niggas saying about China.
Yeah. But we didn't know about the Uyghurs until so much later.
What are Uyghurs?
The Uyghurs were the Muslims that they put into concentration camps.
Facts.
They were Chinese Muslims we didn't know about for so fucking long. And then we find out all this, like, salacious things about them, and I'm just like, okay.
If this was a cube, I was on this cube. Now that motherfucker just spun, and now I hadn't thought about that because the Muslim people that they were basically having like as prisoners and shit like that. That's very true because news like that can't be spread through Twitter if they were to try to stifle that. I would hope that Elon sticks to his guns, but that's a good angle because I had not thought about it. Because I'm thinking like, what the fuck are we talking? Who cares about their censoring? But that stuff like that is definitely something that they would want to censor.
And from all the social medias, every social media, the first thing that it comes out on is Twitter. Everything you see on Instagram.
Isaiah Rashad sucking dick, Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter gets a lot of shit first. It's the Wild Wild West.
It literally starts
Playboy
on
Cardi
Twitter.
sucking dick, Twitter.
It literally starts on Twitter and then it goes to all the other platforms. Because if you really want to find evidence, or all these journalists, they're all on Twitter.
That's
all
true.
these news medias, all on Twitter. It goes out to Twitter before their own page.
Skip Bayless, before you see him on in the morning, he already tweeted the night before during the games.
Damn, bro.
Sakib watches Twitter porn. Everything's on Twitter.
I do, bro. Because I limited my adult website.
That's crazy. So China just bought Twitter. Wow.
No.
That's what happened.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Especially like I do believe in Elon. I do like the idea of taking away the fucking bots. The bots are so fucking irritating, and I hope once he could figure out something for it, maybe the other apps could just follow.
I will get on it just to support Elon. Now, all right, I don't want to get too off topic, but if we want to talk about the cars, can I tell you what happened with NASA's Tesla?